Yeah, we rise, we thrive. Yeah, we step in our light. Feel good, we alive. Everything aligned. Yeah, we rise and thrive with Dr. J. Nicole. Give a long way, yeah, we still growing. Feet on 10, yeah, still showing.
Okay, y'all, the secret is finally out. We are going to Bali. When I say I am excited, that is an understatement. I want you to think lush rice terraces, breathtaking waterfalls, incredible food, rich culture, unforgettable sunsets, and the kind of memories that you'll be talking about for years. We'll be traveling March 27th through April 2nd, 2027. So all you have to do is show up and experience while the planning is handled for you. But here's the part that you really need to know. There are only 8 early bird spots. And after those have been claimed, the price increases and you can reserve your spot for only 25% down. And payment plans are available through the firm. You've been saying that you want to travel more. Consider this your son. Consider this an answered prayer. And come on and come to Bali with me. Let's make some unforgettable memories. Don't miss out. Join the VIP list today. Today, we're talking about something that completely transformed the way that I evaluate my life, my decisions, my relationships, and my relationship with God. The fruit of the Spirit. If you've been going to church any amount of time, you've probably heard the list before: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. But somewhere along the way, many of us started viewing this as personality trait rather than evidence. The fruit of the Spirit isn't a checklist. It's evidence, right? Evidence that we're walking with God, evidence that God is working in us, evidence that we're becoming more like Christ. Don't delay starting the journey. Order your copy today. You already know who you are. This is a reminder of whose you are. Every piece in the Rise and Thrive collection carries that same truth we talk about every week. You are chosen, you are held, and you are walking in purpose. Wear it, carry it. The collection is live now.
Every time I think about that, I'm just like, this crazy set this stuff up to get me mauled by dogs and watched it. And then because the dogs couldn't get me and I was fighting back, they beat the dogs. And she tells me to go ahead and go to school, and I shouldn't get off her damn car. So I go to school. I'm rattled. I could not focus on it.
Rightfully so.
I couldn't focus on an assignment. Even when the teachers were asking me something, I was like kind of frozen. I just was quiet. I get home, cop cars outside the house. I get there, they was like, "Oh, put your hands behind your back." The white cop hog tied me with my legs and arms like this, and threw me in the back of the car. She said that I had stole some money from her. It was all set up. I stole some money and did not want to go to school. And I'm sitting here like, but I'm at school, getting out of school. So I stole some money from her and I didn't want to go to school. And I was causing trouble. She felt threatened. She felt scared for her life. And it was like, "Yo, we got him up out here." So they took me out of there. They took me to another facility, not the juvenile detention center, but they took me to another one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like when I started getting into these homes. And the next home, that was my last time seeing Glenna. I'm sorry, it was so many homes I stayed in.
Yeah.
They sent me to the shelter. So I got put in the shelter again, which is when you're in the shelter, it's a good thing. I got put in the shelter and I think this next home, that was I don't remember their names. It was a Black family. I don't remember their names, but it was out there by Washington High School.
Okay.
Very nice family and everything. Um, I felt that was the only house since after that went downhill. Only house that I felt safe in, and it was great. They treated me like family. Their daughter nuts though. Like their daughter was crazy. She needed like medication for real. But loved their light skinned cousin. She used to come over. She was cool and stuff. Then they ended up getting 2 other foster kids. They expanded their license. So I felt like I had a home.
Mm.
And then I started getting privileges to go back to like my cousin's house slash, I'll just call him my brother or whatever, but that family. And I was going to go visit them, et cetera, because they was going to try to like adopt me out of the foster care system so I could,
Okay.
have a permanent place to stay. Cause anything can happen. That's the thing. I always tell people anything can happen. It changes in a heartbeat. And I'm sitting there going there and everything. And Julie Doyle, for some reasons, was no longer my manager. And it went to um I think her name was Ashley or Amber, some other white girl.
Mm-hmm.
She knew in the system. I think Julie was going to retire or something. She needed to retire. And they gave it to Amber, and I'm not for sure what happened,
Mm-hmm.
but Amber Amber knew. So there's so many different rules and laws that happen regarding foster kids that can stay at family members' houses. Like a lot of stuff has to be approved,
Yeah.
but the approval is kind of weird how it works. You don't know if it has to be by the court or by this caseworker or by another social worker. It's so weird. Well, I've been going to my brother Braxton's house for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and we was working on adoption. Everybody knew this. For some reason, Amber, I don't know what happened between Amber and my foster mom. Big explosion between them happened, and I uh I get a call from at the house where I'm at, my brother's house, and he was like, "Oh, my my." It's hard to say because they're like my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
But his mom, she said, "Oh, they on the phone with you. They need you on the phone. Something happened. Something happened. You got to get on the phone." I said, What happened?" So I get on the phone and I start, saying, and it was Amber. She says, "Oh, are you at Deborah's house?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "Dude, you're not supposed to be at Deborah's house. That was never approved." I said, I've been coming here for a while." "Well, that wasn't supposed to never happen. So the police is coming to pick you up, and this lady here, the other two kids, they got taken out of the house, and they're going to lose their license."
Mm.
I did not understand what happened.
Quick pause. I've been loving Canvas Beauty, a Black woman owned brand all about confidence and self care. Shop canvasbeautybrand.com/Genie3 and use code Genie3 to save. Now back to Rise and Thrive. So you were in a healthy home,
Healthy.
and then they figured out this is a healthy home that's going to help this kid adjust. Then not only did they take you from the placement, they revoked the license.
Yes.
Boy, this systemic racism is so serious here.
And I was just blown away. And I said, wow. And I did not know. I just didn't know what to do. I was just like, I was at their house for quite some time. I felt so safe there.
Mhm.
Besides the daughter was, I said she was crazy. She needed medication.
Wow.
But other than that, I felt safe there. I mean, I felt like I had a home, and it was Black people, and the kids felt safe, and it was like a real family. And I don't care how people felt. I just took that away.
I've been letting you like rock. Can we reel in some of the profanity?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It pisses you off so much.
Yeah, I listen. This is
It
awful.
does because, and so I get a call from her. I get a call from her cut their niece, the light skinned one that was at the house. And she called, she says, she was like, "I'm confused. Did you have anything to do with this and everything?" I said, "No." She says, "Well, something happened. And I'm not for sure why, Amber came to the house and she took the kids and she accused them and the cops was all at the house." So they were upset, rightfully so. So she was upset because she was like, "This is ridiculous. Like this white lady came in here and just said all these lies." And I think Julie Doyle has something to do with it. I really do. Um, I really do. I just it just sound
Mhm.
demonic. It just really did. And so the my cousins slash family, they told them that they're not going to they told them they were not going to award them the foster care license because their carpet wasn't up to code. It had like a brown somebody had the iron on it, and the iron stayed on it too long, whatever. And they said, "Oh, because of that, we're not gonna let you have the license."
But
I
who's
said,
gonna check it? That's the other part. Who's gonna hold these people accountable? And no one's going behind and really
"Mhm,
regulating these things. They just know that the certain people signed off, they said no, and then they wrote it. I'm sure they wrote it way more than that. And documentation is received to be as truthful. It's assuming that you're operating ethically.
yeah,
And who's gonna go double check that?
exactly." And it was crazy. And so when I'm talking to them, she says, "They came to my house. I had to buy this. I had to do this. I had to fill out this paperwork. I had to go to the courthouse." She said, "I did all this stuff only for whatever happened at the house with your foster parents to trickle over here, and they revoked me from getting a license."
Mhm.
So the kid just totally killed it.
Mm.
And then the foster parents totally took their license. They took away two black accesses that I had.
Yes.
So after that, they sent me to the level 5 facility. So level 5, so now I'm in the facility now. Now I'm in where so level 5 is where you have kids that have behavior problems.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. This is probably Julie's plan all
Yes.
along to level 5 you. And like I mentioned the pipeline, right? And
Uh-huh.
they're ensuring it that you're not anywhere stable. They're destabilizing you here
Mhm.
intentionally.
And it's so evil. I tell people, I said the foster care system. I said, and this is a side note, and I we'll be back in if I don't want to say nothing, but it's just like with the Epstein files. I keep telling everybody, it's not just at a federal level; it's at a state, it's at a local level too. I said, I'm not surprised that all this
Well, a
stuff is going on
fish
with these
rots
children.
from the head down.
Yeah, I said, I'm not surprised.
Mhm.
I said, and level 5 is where I got the real behind the scenes what goes on in foster care, and it was it was insane. Level 5, uh, level 5, so they have different levels. So, of course, you know the shelter unit, and in the shelter units, they separate the shelters. So, in the shelters, they have the boys and the girls side. In
Mm.
this facility, the juvenile court system, they put you all kind of the same category, but it's usually temporary. When you go to the facility on the level 5 side, you got level 5, level 6, and then you got um the real juvenile like jail. That's what you have. So that's where all the kids is like done a crime or, something really grave to where they're going to be serving time.
Mhm.
And so level 5 was like the lowest of the low tier. And these were kids that had behavioral problems. People was in there fighting. People, people got stabbed. I tell people a good analogy is if you watch Orange is the New Black mixed with Oz.
Oh,
That's what you're dealing with children.
yeah.
So this is with kids. And so I tell people, I said, this is what you're dealing with. And so I'm sitting here like, how did I get up in this situation? I'm confused. I tell people your file in foster care is everything.
So how did they justify putting you in a level 5? Do you know?
It was mostly from Glenna Gordon. Something from a house before this is before I even got to this black
Oh,
house.
because she said you stole.
I stole and I didn't want to go to school, and she feared for her life because she felt like I was going to attack her.
So have you had your growth spurt yet at this point? I mean, because the viewers don't know how tall you
No,
are, but
no, mm-mm,
okay.
no.
Wow.
But you're forgetting black kids. These are white people. Black kids, they don't
I
care about that.
know. And so that's what I was also even thinking. So if you had height also, it was going to be intensified.
Oh yeah, it would have been intensified. But I wasn't as short as most. I would say I wasn't as short as most 12 and 13 and 14-year olds. So I didn't start really sprouting up until like 15, 16, actually.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here like, look, and I heard about what was in my file afterwards, and I said, "Are you serious?" Like I was fighting and I tried to harm somebody. And then Julie Doyle, the one where I stole some money from her, I tried to attack somebody. It was all these things in my file. So I tell people, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Whatever they write in the file,
Documented.
that's what it is. That's it. They don't care what it, even if they know, there's people that told me, they said, we know this caseworker was terrible or a liar. Don't matter. That's what we're going to, that's what's, if it's in your file, that's all the judge sees. The judge don't care about anything else. And so I'm in level 5, I'm seeing all this stuff, and just the things I saw, I remember, not for sure, this white girl came in there. I'm gonna try to refrain from the cussing because I gotta tell you how they said it.
Okay. Now, see, I
but
get
but
it when you're saying what other people said for authenticity, right?
yeah, but I'm gonna reword it for you guys, okay? So I don't know what the white girl came. There was this white girl that came in there, and in level 5 behavioral problems, kids acting up. They in their teenage years, all teenagers, most of them, and they just don't care. And so I guess they went and I guess this girl, I forgot her name. I think it was Jennifer or Jenny or whatever her name was, and she was like, "Oh, well, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing what to do, especially not no darky." No, I'm saying that instead of the other word and stuff. And so I'm like, is she crazy? Most of the people that's over there in her area are Black women.
Mhm.
And it was too much going on with her. I remember they got her, they said, "Oh, you don't," what they do is they like set up stuff. They'll like set the whole thing up. Set her up and everything. They said, "Oh, she don't like us. Okay, we got her." What they did is they did something, they will make you do something to where they have justification, what the police do. So it's trained. So what they did is they put what was it? They had put somebody's wallet there and some money there, and of course the girl
That's a
took the
trap.
money
Mhm.
to set a trap on her. Caught it, and everything. Somebody saw it. They was peeking out, watching her do it. They made sure she was in the room by herself. They told everybody to go. They said, "Why don't you wait here?" They set and they did set it a whole. It was so easy. It was an easy setup. She took it. They beat that girl up, and this is a kid. Tore her. They beat her up. When I
Yeah,
tell you,
man.
and what they
So
justified is they said,
now this is switched, right? Because you were
yes,
being mishandled by white folks, and then this white young girl, she gets mishandled by Black folks.
yes.
Okay.
And these are guards, okay? These are
Mhm.
guards. And so I'm sitting here like, dang. And then what they did, justified, she stole some money. They confronted about it. She attacked them. They had to do what they had to do.
Oh my.
Um, I've seen another girl in there. The guards especially the male guards are very predatory. I mean, it's just like what you see on TV on Oz. Go back and watch that stuff.
Oh, I
And
watched it. I don't know that I need to go back, and I was like, I don't know
it
if I
was
like
a good
I was
TV
watching
show.
Oz. It was quite the drama, and I couldn't stop watching. Like Adabisi was scary, but I could not stop
Yeah,
watching.
yeah. I mean, it's intense. And
Mhm. You
I
know
guess she
the mayhem guy on the insurance commercials? You know he was in Oz, right?
oh yeah, yeah. He was the warden.
Was he the what? No, I thought he was a prisoner.
Which one are you talking?
I'm the white guy who's like, this is like he always acts like the situations. His name is Mayhem. It's okay. There's just like
There's
random.
so many characters because you got the
Hold
one
on,
from the
I'm
Best Man.
gonna look it up.
You,
Mayhem insurance guy.
'Cause
So
you got the black guy with the dress from the
that's
Best Man.
also yes, he was in there too because he
He's
was
in
in a
there.
wheelchair. Wasn't he in a
He
wheelchair?
he was in a wheelchair.
Okay, so this actor, his name is Dean Winters, and I'm gonna get who his character was on Oz because I remember seeing him on there. He was definitely a prisoner. Um, weird look. We're just on a whole little rabbit hole.
Oh, he was the one that was he was the one on Oz that was the snitch. To be honest about it, he was orchestrating all the drama in Oz.
Probably was.
Yeah, he was the one. I remember him. He had a big character. I think his character lasts all the way to the end.
Yeah, like he was a main
Yeah, because
character.
he
He
had
was
because he had
definitely
a brother that
there.
was he had a brother that was slow, and his brother got put in there.
Yes, that
Yeah,
was a whole thing. That
yeah,
storyline. Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah,
yeah.
that's all
Absolutely.
for him.
There's a lot of big actors from there. Even the guy that plays on was it Law and Order or something like that.
Oh,
Old
yep, yep,
dude.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
No, Mulder, that's X-Files, isn't it?
that's X Files.
Um,
It's
um,
one of those. It's either Law and
no,
Order
it's
or
Law& and Order. It's Law& and Order.
yeah. But he played in there.
SVU.
And
Wait,
yes, they
it's a lot of people from that.
yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kathy Bates directed one of the episodes. There's some star-studded people on that show. That's why it was so big because it had good
Yeah.
writing and good
But a lot
stuff.
of people that built their careers.
It did.
But okay, so I'm gonna bring us back and I'll
Yeah.
edit all our side.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
So
Oh
it was like you're saying your experience was like a combination of Orange is the New Black meets Oz,
yes,
but with adolescence.
yes.
Okay.
And you're forgetting most of these kids, they're not strong enough to fight back. They're not strong. So the guard hit you and he's 3 times your size, baby, you're gonna fly. You're gonna fly a few feet.
Yeah.
You're gonna slide. And there was the what's that slippery floor with the tiles? It was always the one where you just mop. And so they
Mm,
hit you, baby, you slide and you're gonna hit something else, you're gonna get a knot. I mean, that's what it was.
yeah.
And I remember seeing this one girl, I guess the guards was like, oh yeah, she out there being fast. She out there, yeah, she showing herself to us. Got her, did what they did to her. And then she went and told the guards. And the worst thing you can do is go and tell other guards or tell the therapists or tell the doctors because they are just as bad.
Hmm.
Everybody's involved in it. Everybody wants their turn. Everybody, I mean, your kids.
So what
You
you're
don't
describing here is a system where people want to they intentionally take these
mhm,
jobs to abuse people
mhm.
to like the spiritual warfare that's in alignment with this, you know what I'm saying? And I was already saying how like spirits talk, they know who to hire, who's gonna be
Yeah.
okay. They would never hire me as a therapist if I pulled up in there, right?
You
Like
got great energy. You're just so positive.
exactly. So I would not fit into that space at all. Or they would
Mm.
hire me because they couldn't justify not hiring me, but then they would figure out ways to probably try to make me quit.
Yeah,
Make the job more
you'd have had a
difficult.
hard time.
Yeah, yeah.
You would have had a hard
Yeah,
time because
definitely.
they want people they want people that hey, you got to get alone to be alone here. Like, and it's just the way I have a friend that's a prison guard right now. It's like okay, everybody and this was a thing that the head guy said that was over the facility. He says
Mhm.
everybody complains here. Everybody, if we investigate everybody here, we wouldn't have any guards. So what do you do as children?
And this is
What
one
do
of
you
the most
do?
vulnerable populations of children. Y'all can't hire better people?
They
Okay.
don't. They just need somebody to fill that up. And what was funny is that the job is very cushiony because kids are way easier to manage than adults. They
Absolutely.
they have ways of managing them, and kids are scared easily. So
Mhm.
it's easy to scare us. And even there, when I'm there, they had us fighting. I had to fight. I was getting beat up. I got choked out by one of the guards that didn't like me. I'm never in trouble, so I'm not going to say any of their names. I'll say Daryl's name, not Daryl. What was it? What was it? No, Daryl. Daryl was the evil one. I'll say his name. I didn't like his name. They call him Sergeant Cerner or something. He was from the military, black little imp looking thing. Couldn't stand him. But he used to orchestrate. He was just evil. He used to orchestrate stuff around there around children. And knowing his history, he was on the news. I guess they had arrested him for fraud and all that stuff. So this man was just not a good person to be around kids. But he was hired there. They had once that news story hit, I think they fired. That's when they fired him. But he was orchestrating fights, orchestrating this. Or I
Mhm.
was like, Jesus Christ, something's wrong with this guy. And then he had a little band of croonies so they would do it, and then he had some of the kids under his wing that would do it as well. And he didn't like that I was like never in trouble, never got anything because I was not supposed to be there. And he said, "Oh, you think you better, huh? Oh yeah, oh you think you better? Okay, I'm about to show you."
Mm.
And he pushed me, and I said, "What you push me for?" Oh you just touched the guard. And then he went to restrain me, and he had choked me out and threw me in the white room. And so the
Trying to
whole
break you.
yeah, so the whole for adults is the like, they put you in pitch blackness and then close you in there. The white room is it's this bright light, bright room, and the light is so bright, and you even you put your hands up here, it's like the light seeks in and it burns, and
Oh.
you're trying. Almost every kid I know experienced it, And so don't nobody want to go there because you can't sleep. The floor is cold. And like, especially in the winter, it's real cold.
Mhm.
And that's what he put me in. And I had some good favor with some of the guards there. And they took me out. They said, what happened? We see that you went from green, because they used to have the kids rated by color code. They said you went from green all the way to red. And he, oh yeah, he did this and it. And nobody believed him. But the problem is, you got to get along to be along with the guards. Didn't nobody want to really go against another guard. They didn't want to tell him the
Yep.
guard. And so they said, we're going to get you back up to green, because when you go to red, you lose your privileges. You got to stay in your room when you come from school 24/7.
Mhm.
You don't get no snacks. You can't go outside. You only get like you lose everything.
Mm.
And so guess what happens? That got put in my file. So now it's justifying why I'm there, and I did nothing to this man. Zero. And
You
I'm
did
so glad,
nothing to
because
belong there. People kept patting your file.
yes, and it was good that, some of the kids, like this guy named Tony, I think he was 17, really buff, like kid. Looked like he should have been playing football. Him and Daryl didn't get along, but me and Tony did. And he never liked Daryl anyways. And Daryl
Of
tried to say
course.
something to him. Boy, he ended up slamming Daryl so bad. This slammed the hell out of that guard.
Mm.
Slammed him. And then Daryl tried to get his cronies. It was so much mess with this guy, Daryl. And I
Mhm.
was I was so thankful for Tony, because Tony had his own crew and he looked out for us. And then there was this other girl named Little Bit. Now I almost got shanked by her. Little Bit had, yes, baby. I'm telling you, it's like Oz. Little Bit, she reminded me of I don't know if you ever seen Prison Break. All right,
I've never watched
all
enough
right.
of the characters other than the main 2 characters.
They got an episode on there on Prison Break where it's this white girl who's the leader of a crew. This the
Mhm.
biggest crew in there. Co-ed, their multicolored crew.
Mm.
And everything she says go. And Little Bit was just like her. Little Bit was little, so she had to fight. She
Yep.
knowing her story, because we had therapy, we had to have like
Mm.
roundtable therapy. I never said much in it. I just listened to everybody
Uh-huh.
else.
Mhm.
And a little bit, what she did was she got in there because her parents was on meth
Mm.
and her father was molesting her. Okay.
Okay.
And so that's how she got into the system. So a little bit, knows about the drugs and all that stuff. So she had to, learn how to duck and shank and know how to use weapons. So she knows it. So when she came in there, she got her little crew in line. And I guess somebody told on her that she was smoking weed or something. And
Getting away
little,
with it. The guards.
come on now. And these are children. These are children.
Yep.
And I said, and this is what goes on. And so I'm in this low-fi facility with all this mess going on. I'm getting lied on in my file that I touched the guard, and then he ended up choking me out and putting me I mean, this is all the stuff that's going on. So a little bit came around to everybody. She says, y'all was the only ones in the room when they was asking questions about me smoking weed. I'm gonna find out who said something.
Mhm.
And when I find out, we're gonna have a problem.
Mm.
And so me and Little Bit never had any issues because I'm cool with Tony. But she came to me first because I'm cool with Tony, and she wanted to make sure that I'm not the last one on the list. So it was like out of respect. This little white girl. She came to me, and I was walking out the door, and she hit me up, and the other girls closed the door. And she says, do you know what happened? No, she says, well, you and it was, what, 6 or 7 of y'all in the room? Somebody told the warden, whatever, that I was out here doing this weed and doing drugs and stuff. That ain't none of your damn business. That's my business. This is a
Like, we sound
little
like we on the streets for real.
she don't play. A little bit didn't play. And I was like, that wasn't me. She says, go ahead and give me the thing. And he had a little shame. She says, let me tell you something. I'm cool with you because of Tony, and I never had a problem with you. But if I find out that you did anything, or you said anything, or was in cahoots with them, she said, I'm gonna cut you on up. And there ain't gonna be no questions. I don't want to hear no forgiveness. I don't want to hear no crying or please, please. You just gonna get shanked up. Going outside and play. Girls or guys. Oh, I'm telling you,
These
these
are
are
the
children, 13, 17, 16 years old. This is how it was being ran in this facility.
Mhm.
So this is just some of the things that I can write a whole series on that. but we only have so much time, but I'm gonna move on from that. But this
Yeah.
is what I had. This is what I had to endure, and
So
so
I do want to ask, is it in the facility where you experienced the sexual abuse?
I experienced the sexual abuse in. Actually, it was actually the shelter. There was a shelter, another shelter that was in Lawrence, Kansas.
Mhm.
I experienced it there. I experienced sexual abuse from my mom's cousins that was in Nevada.
Mhm.
That was my actually first encounter,
Mhm.
and those was the main two. Um, the that one and the one over there in Kansas. That one because of Tony, I was protected in there. Now I did see other kids get it done. I did see that.
Okay.
I saw that, but mine's happened where, and just to go back in time a little bit,
Mhm.
my cousin Skylar. I don't care if you can get upset or whatever. I'll no, I've seen this guy in what going on 30 something years. Um, he had a history of this with his little sister. His
Okay.
mother, Teresa, I don't know, I forgot the man's name she was married to or whatever, but they was overly holy roly. And this is why people say, why you always have so much issues with like religious people? So I said,
Got it.
because I, s- I saw too much. I'm sorry. Even when I went to God's creation, where they did that church killed that little boy, and then you had the praise dancers that was doing black magic, and then you had the adults in there that was involved in it, and then the pastor and evangelist was taking grown adults checks, had them staying in the hotel, and then it was hog tying people in the bathtub and told them to keep their head while the water run, or they're gonna drown in the name of Jesus. I
So they're
said,
waterboarding people in the name
yes, I'm
of Jesus?
at a church.
I mean,
Go
there's a lot of things that go wrong. Like humans do a lot of things in the name of Jesus, and Jesus ain't
Jesus.
nowhere in it.
And it was funny because when you go to the church, I will not lie, the lady was talented. You felt something, she was a great singer, a good
You
looking
need
woman.
a charismatic leader.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was
that's
so
how they work.
charismatic and they had money in it. I was just like, I was so shocked when it came out that all the stuff was happening behind the scenes. It was a whole court case. It was a federal,
Yeah.
court case. Both of them got put in jail. They got put in jail because they hog tied one of their foster kids. They were in foster care as well, and they would always say, "Oh, y'all, the evangelist and the pastor, y'all should come spend the night." And there was what was that boy's name? Who he was a foster kid. He always ran away. Guys, the Sean or something, I think his name was. He said, He said, don't come over. He said, they're gonna get y'all. He said, they're trying to get y'all. They're trying to get y'all in here. And we didn't know what the heck was happening. So we stayed away. But you can say nothing to my cousin's mom because she's, thank you, Jesus.
Yep. And this is how they get access. Yeah.
Yeah, and she wanted, and when you get people, and this is the adults as well, when you get people that's vulnerable and they don't have anything else going for them, they want to
Yeah.
be a part of a community. They want to be
Same thing
loved.
with gangs. It's just that it's happening in a church and it's abuse. Like
She
these are
very,
people taking
mhm.
advantage of vulnerable people. All of it.
And this is what happened. And I was just like, I mean, and so by him telling us not to come over, he was like, man, we was getting physically, mentally, sexually abused over there. They was doing dark magic on us. They was doing tortures, and it was funny because the head of the praise dancers, Chastity, she doing stomp by what's the name, what's Kurt Franklin and stuff, stomping, and we sitting here like, so Chastity, the head praise dancer, was the one doing the dark magic, and they
That's
find
how
out it's
it
from
works. You have the
us.
wolf in sheep's clothing.
And what they did was it came to a head was when Chastity, she got upset at the one of the younger foster kids. I guess he wasn't listening or something. So she says, "Oh, in the name of Jesus, I'm about to show you what you should do. You're supposed to honor your elders and stuff." They tied the boy up, hog tied him, tied him upside down, put a sock in his mouth, and he ended up choking on his own vomit. This is all an open court case. Y'all can go look it up yourself. It's called God's Creation. It was in Kansas City, the Eggers. Go look it up.
Hmm.
and he died alone. And then the pastor came home. They Chastity told him and found out, and then Chastity ran, and nobody knew where she was. He knew all the stuff, the practices that were happening there. So what he did was he took the child and he drove around all Overland Park, Kansas, and drove by multiple hospitals. It was weird when we was reading, was seeing the stuff on the news and stuff. We like, why did he not go to the first hospital? He was scared because all the stuff was about to come out about the church.
Hmm. I see
And
it in Bill and Christy Edgar's.
yes,
Hmm.
everything came out, and I said, all this stuff was going on. Y'all was being sexually abused and beaten and doing dark magic and torture. He says, yes. He says, that's why we didn't want you to come over. So that would have been my other,
Chris, even though you went through a lot, you have been protected.
yes.
Tony was there. So, like, even though you've had all these, like, religion be, like, misused, you cannot deny that in
Mhm.
all of these places, God still had protection around you.
Yeah. And and that's why I was, even my brother, he says, we so glad we didn't go over there and get, and because he says they was looking at us. It was always this one light skinned dude. He was a good looking dude. And he was like, and they always had the same three people get up there every time. Oh, I want to thank the Lord for, you know, getting the prostitution out of me and everything. That she was always up there. The other one was, I want to thank the Lord for not lusting and sinning and everything, and also, not trying to steal. No, it was always something like that. Then it was the light skinned dude. I want to thank the Lord for my homosexuality getting out of me. I ain't a homosexual no more. They said that was the dude that was doing it every week to us.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I said they're doing all the things that
All the
they're
things,
saying they're not. Because from the beginning, or not, at least not from the beginning, but at some point in here, this became a very dark thing,
yeah,
and all of the sin is happening behind the scenes in this closed in spaces, and people are keeping it in and probably threatening the kids, and they're so fearful, and all of these, that silence is where these things grow.
yeah,
And just because
and
you say it's in the name of Jesus, if your behavior don't match, that is not in the name of Jesus. But a kid doesn't know any better. Like, you feel it though. Like, a
yeah.
kid feels it and knows. One second. I'm gonna have a food delivery. I didn't know we was going this long. We could keep going. Um,
Oh, okay, if
but
you want, or you can do a part two.
no, Imma just chop this up into part 2. So, like, I got you here. We can finish the story, and I will chop it into 2, maybe even 3, looking
Okay.
at the time. Yeah, so I don't mind that. I just want to let you know because they probably pulling in. I might have to buzz them into the building.
Yeah,
Um,
I should put. I cooked some chicken the other day. I should put it in the oven real quick. I try not to eat
Go
past
ahead.
5 o'clock. I try not to eat past 5 o'clock no more. It's been
I
helping me.
know.
It
Go ahead.
helps with weight loss.
It does. I'm like, even 7, but 5 is real good.
Yeah.
5 is
So
real good because 'cause
yeah,
they're,
go
like,
ahead. Yeah.
3 minutes away.
Okay,
Um,
no, you good. You
oh,
good.
and you can go put your chicken in the oven.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
We can do a little intermission. I'll take a bathroom break while I'm at it too.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's the tree. Yeah, we can put it in the oven so that we can warm up.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
you eating?
I order from this Mexican restaurant. They got really good like mushroom tacos and like you got like, pescatarian and vegetarian options. It's really good and authentic and they guac is fire. Okay. So so everything came out about the church because we were talking about that. So you were
Mhm.
protected from further abuse by not going and spending time with this family.
Yeah.
So you said so that was the first experience you had
Mhm.
in Nevada.
Oh no, that's the my first experience in Nevada. The
Anchor
church
is
with the
in Kansas.
Eggers, the Kansas, yeah.
That's
But
correct.
with so when we moved from California to Nevada, you
Mhm.
know, money was tight and everything. So my mom really gravitated to her cousin Teresa. They are around the same age, so they became our cousins. Well, my mom would have like mom. You know how people just need people around them. They need
Yep.
to feel special. She was one of those people, and it was interesting because when we went over to their house, we just knew there was you can tell there's an eerie feeling, and it's always these overly holy roly Christians and Baptists and all that. Where this, where that, and even the way that their father spoke. Oh, the Lord said, and God, and there was always something like that. Well, one day, my mom was over there, and and she said, "Why don't y'all come over here?" And so we came over there, and her daughter came out and she said, Mama, Skylar touched my tatas and stuff. And she said, "Oh, girl, go in there and quit lying. And that boy ain't did nothing to you. You're just fast. You just
It's
fast.
it.
You're wearing those dresses straight. You're fast." And my mom, and that's something that I would say that was something that she kind of did side eye stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that's why she said, they can't really stay over there like that. But then, of course, my mom started getting on drugs. Everything gets relaxed, and she started getting laxed on what she said. So her and Teresa started hanging out a lot more. And she was like, "Oh, well, Skylar gonna come over here and watch y'all." I said, "I can do it. I can watch the kids." "Oh no, Skylar gonna come over." Hearing my mom talk to my grandma about the sexual abuse that Skylar was doing to his sister, and
Mhm.
that Teresa and her husband was always saying that the little girl is fast and she out here wearing short skirts when the mother is the one dressing the little girl, did not add up to us. I was like, I don't understand. I said, I really don't want him over there. Skylar was well, 2.5 times my size.
Mhm.
We're a very stocky dude. And it's like, and he had behavior, you could tell he had behavior problems. He would, kind of snap at her and everything when she say something. So if the father wasn't there, he talked down to the mother like she was nothing.
Mm.
And so I was like, "I don't want that guy over here or whatever." She said, "Well, he gonna come over here and he gonna start watching them." Well, the when he came over, it was this demonic energy about him. It was just evil. And his sister, she's so scared. She, whatever. And what he wanted to do is like right when my aunt and my mom left, he's like, "Oh, well, we're gonna play house." And my sister said, "I'm gonna play that." He said, "Oh, we
Oh,
gonna do."
he's getting
Yeah.
it set up.
He instantly I said, she said, "I want to play it." He said, "Oh, you're gonna do what I tell you. I'm the oldest here."
I'm surprised he didn't say he was the daddy.
Yeah. Well, that's when he played house. And so as we're, about to play house and everything, my sister's like, I don't want to play. I said, I don't want to either, but who gonna say something? I can't, I knew I couldn't whoop him. I knew I
Yeah.
couldn't. You just take aside somebody up and tell you, yeah, he would dust you. And so everybody playing house, everything going okay or whatever. And he just started talking to his little sister crazy and stuff. Oh, you need to go in there and put on that dress and them high heels that I told you to put on. Just talking like very overly abusive to his sister. And I was just like, something weird. And then he gonna tell my sister, you do it too? And she said, I don't put on nothing for nobody. Oh, he said, you gonna do what I say or we gonna have a problem. She said, well, have a problem. That's why I did like Crystal about that. And us
Mm.
together, we thought we could take him. And he said, okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, you ain't gonna do it? Come here. He went to grab her to try to take her in the room. And I said, get your hands off of her. And he said, you want to get involved in it too? Took my sister, threw her across the table. And then he kicked me, like, in my chest, and I fell back. And then he grabbed my leg and he just dragged me into the room. He says, oh, you want to be a protector, huh? And he threw me in the closet. He tied my hands behind my back. And that's when he essayed me.
Mhm.
And it was horrific. The pain. And every time he was doing his stroke, he was punching me in my face. And my nose was bleeding and stuff. And I passed out.
Yeah.
And what really bothered me about this whole thing, and I cried about this so many times before, like, and it's just, I'm just immune to it now. Told my mom what happened. My sisters told my mom what happened. She says, oh, I'm not going to, she said, I'll say the F. She said, oh, you going to let another man do some F word to you? So you on that F stuff, huh? So now my son's an F? Got it. Mm-hmm.
Blaming you were assaulted. And
Even my,
see, Chris, this when I tell you you were under attack, you see that right there? Identity. She put a label on you, your own mother.
mhm.
And that's one thing that the enemy wants to try to do is attack your identity. Because if you don't know who you are, it's his playground.
And that's what happened. And it was just the way she talked to me. And after that, that's when she was, since up until Kansas, that's when she was like really mean to me. I think I was getting a whooping and beating everything. Michael was throwing me in the walls. Like, no, when I was in Las Vegas, I didn't. I hated it. I had very bad experiences. Like, it just, abuse from him. That's when she got into whooping me more for just random stuff. I remember she took a refrigerator cord, took that off, whooped me with that. I had like welts for like weeks. And a refrigerator cord, I don't care what nobody said. It was a switch. The refrigerator cord, it just, it has a whipping effect to it, and it leaves these red bruises, and they burn. I said a switch would never compare to refrigerator cord. It just never will.
Never heard of someone doing that. Like,
Hmm.
that's your mind works in a different way to decide you're going to take the cord from the refrigerator, or you had to go get it from one that wasn't working.
That's what got me,
So
and
this
it
is
was
intentionality. This is a person's mind.
planning it. And
Yeah.
it just, after that, that's when the beatings got real bad. But Skylar, she was like, oh, he coming to, and knowing what she knows and what my sister said, she was so upset at me that I think she didn't care. And so when he came over, he was just say straight, when they closed the door, you gonna let me have your sister, or you gonna protect her and you gonna take what I'm gonna give you? I said, I'd rather you just have me and get in the room then. Go and put them jaws down, bro. Go in
Mm,
there. And that's what I had to do to protect my sisters.
yeah.
And um it was obviously it went on for a long time.
Like, what's a
Like,
long time if you had to like
uh
just
I would I probably
months,
say
years?
probably say around, I'd probably say 6, 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it was consistent because her and Teresa was going out Tuesday night, Thursday night, girl, ladies night here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gone. Once Teresa get out of church, they going out.
Was Teresa
And
supplying the drugs?
no, Michael, when Michael came back out there, they ended up meeting somebody else through Michael. Um, no, I don't know how Michael was finding it. I mean, that one thing he knew how to find was a gang and find drugs. He knew how to
Look,
find that.
listen, spirits talk. They know where to look. This is why somebody they can go. It don't matter where they go. You can find the hood if the hood is what you're looking for. You find your people.
And he always found it. So the drugs came, and then they made this drink called Pink Panties.
Mm-hmm.
And she had me tasting one. It just tastes disgusting. Just tastes like a bunch of,
Who had you
uh,
taste the pink panty drink?
it was like frozen ice cream with sour syrup on it. It had all the alcohol. It was so gross. That's why I didn't start drinking it until like late because it was so gross to me. And
Who had you drink it?
my mom and her husband. Yeah, I drunk a 40 before. I drunk a few malt liquors. I had pink panties. And I've had a shots of whiskey as well. And
So
this,
again, you see how they are corrupting you.
yeah. And I smoked my first joint, I think I was 8. Because I remember we were sitting outside and Mike was like, "No, I might not like you, but you need to hit this. Maybe I might like you." And so I did what he wanted me to do because maybe he would like me.
And the beat
And
stop.
I hit that and everything, and I was coughing. He said, "Oh yeah, you weak, just what I thought. Go on, get out of my face." And I mean this is what was going on. And what bothered me is that my mom, I think she knew
Mm-hmm.
that he was doing what he was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't care. And things came to like kind of a head where she had Michael beat me so bad sometimes that that my cousin Skylar started feeling sorry for me. So it's like
Wow, one
him.
abuser was abusing you so bad that the other abuser felt bad.
So Skylar was like, "Hey, listen, I know what happened between us and everything. I can't help it. That's just who I am." But he says it'll be better for you to spend a night at my house unless you want to stay over here with him. He said, "I won't do it to you every night," but he says, "I got to get something in return, and you're already doing it anyways. So if you want to stay, that's fine."
Wow.
But he says what he's doing. He says I don't. He said I couldn't even tolerate that. And I just had whelps. I remember sometimes Michael would throw me against things so hard that my arm would hurt. I remember they had a girl, they tried to get a babysitter, and he told her to teach me a lesson, and she dragged me so hard that my arm came out of a socket.
Dislocated.
It dislocated. And my grandma, this is when my grandma was around at the time, and she tore that girl up. My grandma didn't play. That's why when that protection left when I was in Kansas, I
Mhm.
was really sad. So it was like it was like this or that. So
And
when
what
people,
was offering you was still bad. That's the crazy part, but what's more tricky about that is he was trying to get you in agreement with the abuse. Negotiating. I'll give you less abuse if you wanna come stay over here.
yeah, that's what I was up against.
So
And I
what
was
did
just
you
like,
decide?
oh, what happened?
Mhm.
And so that's what I was up against. And then the other one happened when I was in the shelter in Lawrence, Kansas. Um, Everything was good. They only at this one, and this was the thing. Some caseworkers, like you have some intelligent caseworkers. Some caseworkers, like this kid goes to school, got good grades, he don't get into fights. What is all this I'm seeing in the file? Because they have to go off the file first. So when they see your file, they're like, "Oh, this kid, they're scared. They'll go ahead and put the seatbelt around you and put your hands like this," and they're scared. But then they start to see my work, and that's why I said something was keeping me protected because I was working so hard, in school. I stayed out of trouble. Having a job was an escape because I'll be at the job for 8 hours. So I was at Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's and I was there at these places to where I didn't have to deal with a lot of those people. So by the time I get home, everybody's asleep, everybody into their
Oh,
own
'cause you went
lives.
right after school.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful people. If this episode has already blessed you in any sort of way, we ask that you like, subscribe, follow, share, and leave comments. Feedback helps this message reach the people who need it most. And if you're listening and thinking, I'm ready to go deeper in my healing journey, we invite you to join our school community where we continue these conversations between episodes. And it's an opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals committed to growth, healing, and purpose. Also, do not forget, you can shop the merch and also explore all things Evolve at evolve.drjnicole.com. If you love today's look and you're wondering about this hair, you can use my promo code with the link in the description to get 15% off with Eunice hair. That's UNICE. Thank you for rising with us.
Yeah, we rise, we thrive.